What's up, guys? Studfit here. We have a brand new segment called the Speed Run. Start your timers now. That's right. The rundown this past weekend was 2.5 hours, breaking all records. What a massive amount of talking and huge episode. Shout out to MKD Ben, who had the patience and persistence to make it through the whole time and holding our bladder. So we're so glad to get through that. Thank you to those of you who watched it. I know I heard Matt Aldridge watched it twice. Danny Starko left some good feedback too on how he doesn't like watching movies, but he just loves watching or at least listening to the rundown. So just so much great feedback from the community, hearing from you guys. But when I created the rundown, that's how I wanted to consume information. I wanted to hear all this metadata and meta-analysis and hear as much as I possibly could and consume really just as much information while I'm doing a bunch of other things, moving boxes, raking leaves, whatever it might be. So, I understand not everyone on YouTube is just like me. In fact, I've kind of built a niche of really just this in-depth knowledge, but I thought I'd open things up. I try to reach some of the viewers who may not have that attention span to go 2.5 hours, which is probably most people. So, I figured I'd provide the rundown as a very, very condensed 10 to 15 minute segment called the Speed Run. And if you want to know more information about one of the slides that I talk about, there's a link to the rundown, and you can click on that and hear a pretty in-depth, very, very exhaustive explanation of what's all going on. So let's get into it without any more ado. We have awesome members. In fact, we're doing a March Madness men's basketball tournament right now that will be up until Wednesday. So if you're interested in March Madness and also love Mario Kart Tour, join us there. It'll be a lot of fun. Let's get into level boost tickets. As we saw with this update, we were kind of thinking it would be, some people were thinking it might be 5, some people thought it might be 10. It was 8. I was kind of thinking 7 or 8 myself. The one thing that I kind of want to take away from this is that there is kind of like this glowing 8 and kind of like this shimmer that goes down. So this might be the final level, or they could just make the shimmer a 9 as they release that. But I do think, the gap between 5 and 8 is significant enough. Kind of tips their hand that this might be kind of where they reach things, especially as much new stuff as are coming out. So keep that in the back of your mind. When it comes to the daily selects, a lot of new items. Basically, any item that came out prior to 2021 or so is join the shop. So many items. It's going to be really, really, really hard to max your daily selects. So don't worry so much about maxing the daily selects. In fact, all these new items fit the base rate of all the old items, meaning that there was this first wave of daily selects that, when you started the game, that's what was there. And then there was a second wave. These are like what we call the premium. These are actually the ones you're going to want to max out. So we call these, Sammy coined the phrase, the Holy Trinity. That is Baby Luigi, this blue pipe frame buggy, and then this piranha plant glider. So you want to max these. If only you max 3 things, those would be the 3 things to max. We're still not sure exactly how the daily selects work. We don't know if you have to max out one of your high ends in order to get high end tickets, at least in ticket slots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. However, ticket slot 7, 8, 9 can have high ends no matter what you have max. And they've actually been transparent and mentioned that it's 3% in each one of those slots. So that's actually a really good rate. And so you might even see high ends this past week pop into your shop. Just know that I think actually this is a benefit of the fixed DS. So I think Nintendo realized that we do like seeing high-end tickets in our daily select. It's one of the things we look forward to every morning. And so they're saying, well, let's keep that. Let's give it to everybody. Let's make this even. So they've given us that, and that's really nice. And it's actually a great improvement. As for maxing everything else, it's going to take a long time. Just focus on the Holy Trinity. Moving to the base points change. So they mentioned this before that the base points would be changing this tour. Ben did a full analysis, and all these slides are on Reddit, so check it out there too. But Ben has this on Reddit too, but not any crazy changes. Coinbox is still going to be king. Some of the things that saw the biggest jump were some of the aggressive attacking moves, specifically the Super Horn and Super Bell. saw an increase of about 50 points, going from about 25 base points to 75. Won't get into the whole point system because it's very complex, but those saw the biggest jump. Those two skills are the most improved. Be aware of that. And one other thing is that the banana accuracy for when you also have a banana glider, you no longer get those bonus points for having the glider for the extra bananas from the giant banana. Again, it's a very unique situation, but if you were using giant banana, which we don't have that many anyway, but you were pairing it with a banana glider and you realized that it was a little bit OP and it had a lot of advantage, just know that that no longer is the case. Personally, I see it as a good thing. I think if this is Nintendo's only way, only reason why they weren't giving us giant banana all this time, yeah, sure, go ahead and fix it. Now finally give us giant banana. We want giant banana. So maybe they might have realized that this was a mistake and they needed to correct it before they give us more giant bananas. So I think 2022 is year of the banana. Let's move into data mining. So I kind of created a segment called State of the Mining, kind of rhymes with data mining, and kind of took three things we found from the data mining. So this is spoiler alert. One is Hydra. He mentioned how the points, whenever like the EXP points, so when you finish a race, you get these experience points from levels 151 to 199. It is 10 points for every level at the end of the race that you get. So I think you get at 150, you get like 6,000 points for finishing the race. At level 151, you get 6,010 and so on. So just beware of that. And then level 200 and above, all the way up to 300, you only get 5 points. So the strategy here is, I know 300 can be really, really crazy to think about. How am I ever going to get to level 300? Just focus on getting level 200. There is a point of diminishing return there, so focus on that. Two, specifically a source that we're keeping nameless, but it's the same source that revealed the light blue Shy Guy has shown us the next tour, or potentially a future tour, may or may not have a Yoshi versus Birdo tour. Specifically with Birdo White, Turbo Birdo, Yoshi, and White Turbo Birdo. So this is not speculation, this is actually in the data mining code, but what Nintendo does with that code is up to them, so just take that with a grain of salt, and really anything on this slide, take it with a grain of salt. And then Sam78IT says that there are 24 drivers that got a cup boost on the Mii Cup. Typically what happens is if it's the Mario Cup, Mario gets the cup boost, and that's it's just one driver that gets that cup boost. But for the Mii Cup, there are 24 drivers in the code that have gotten this buff, and it's like, you know, red and green and orange and light and sky blue, and so we don't know exactly which players or what drivers will have that cup. But right now we only have 10. We only know that there are 10 Mii drivers. So we're speculating from this information that there are a total of 24 Miis. So just be aware of that. And as we're getting those bonus points of 10, we don't know where that max will be, but they've stated that there is a max, meaning that, hey, if there's 24 and the max is like 10, you don't have to get them all. In fact, you might only have to get half. So don't stress too much about having to get all these Miis here in the shop. Bonus, there are now thresholds assigned to the track. So a good example that he's mentioned is that there's this Mushroom Gorge that has a 100,000 point threshold, meaning if you score over 100,000 points on Mushroom Gorge, somehow Nintendo knows you're cheating. So they have put a red flag, and they are well aware that you are using a cheating app. So don't use cheating apps in case you were. Moving to the Coinbox courses. So as you remember, all of our drivers got every item got now at level 8, you get access to a new track. So which tracks do people get? Are they good tracks or bad tracks? There are a total of 5 Coinbox drivers that got exclusive tracks that just they have access to. So PGP got Rosalina's Ice World T, Swimwear got Koopa Troopa Beach 2T, Tuxedo got Calamari Desert 2RT, Santa Bowser got Rosalina's Ice World RT, and then Hakama got Donut Plains 2RT. So, what to take with this information? I wanted to kind of take a look back and say, hey, which Coinbox have the highest number of exclusive total tracks? So if you look at it, Mario Tuxedo is by far the winner. He has 8 exclusive tracks. There are no other Coinbox drivers on his tracks. He has a total of 28 total tracks. You can kind of see there. The next up would be Meowser and Gold Cooper Freerunning. They have 7. And then we have Kamek, Dry Bones, and Bowser Santa, all with 6. The rest have 5 or less, and PGP just has 1. That's DK Pass R. I want to also point out that the Gold Meat Racing Suit already has 4. Out of his 10 tracks he has, 4 of them are exclusive to him. There are no other coin boxes on those tracks. Already kind of showing you the hand that Nintendo is trying to keep that really, really meta. Won't get into too much, but kind of want to review the Miis. There's a lot of Miis starting out. There will be more. Just kind of want to review this. There was kind of a glitch if you opened the app at the wrong time. Like if you opened at reset before the actual reset, there's like an hour between when you find out your ranked results and when the new tour hits. If you opened during the period of time, then you do not get access to the bronze Mii suit week 1. You'll have to probably wait for week 2 for you to win ranked. But what we found out from data mining is that when you look at these challenge cards for the Miis, you do have to get to you have to get to tier 80 in order to get the gold Mii suit. So it's a long time for us to salivate for this suit. The rest, I think in general, you want to treat these suits kind of like how you do other skills. You really want to kind of just collect the top skills. So really, I think a lot of people ask, should I be buying these different suits for 70 rubies, for 100 rubies? My suggestion, don't stress out. These will come in I believe these will come in pipes down the line, just like anything else that comes out new. Might come out in 3 months, might come out in 6. Who knows? Maybe this is something regular that they offer 3 new every single tour. I don't really know what the future will hold, but I do believe that there will be other access to these. My personal recommendation would be just to get the DK suit and anything that Nintendo gives you access to without having to spend rubies, and not get the other 2. I think there'll be better ways for you to be able to get those. However, I will say the Mii Gold Racing Suit, you're going to have to wait for a long time, and I think it'll be even longer for you to get it outside of a tier 80 situation, meaning that you may not, if you can't get to tier 80, maybe you're free to play, Gold Pass only, and you know that the cards are stacked against you. I don't think you're going to be able to have access to that until 2023. I think Nintendo really wants people to push hard and ranked to move up and move up. Talking about that Gold Mii suit, we broke down all of its tracks and talked a little bit about which other top skill drivers have that track. So really kind of the ones that are kind of not very good for him would be Bowser's Castle and Bowser Castle R. These all have 5 and 6 coin boxers respectively. But some of the best tracks that he has actually would be the Choco Island 1RT. There are no coin boxers there. There are no coin boxers on Cheap Cheap Island T. There's obviously some top skills there, but that one's a good one. And then Mushroom Gorge T is a massive track for him. Just charging Chuck, which many people don't have at a high level, and probably rightfully so. And then we have also Mushroom Gorge, and those are kind of the 3 main ones, 4 main ones there. So just kind of keeping that in the back of your mind. The meta here for the Gold Mii Racing Suit is when you have access to him, he is going to be great. These base points do add up. We'll see what that max is, but it could be massive when it comes to how it can help you out. All right, the timer, we're at 13 minutes. I want to make sure we get within 20 for sure. For the new items, we got 1 cart, 2 gliders. The 2 gliders are actually really, really good. The Mario's Mustache, it does really, really well covering the Mushroom Gorge and Sky Garden. These are 2 brand new assumed tracks. These are tracks that are not cities. They will be recirculating every so often, just like any of the other ones, like Bowser's Castle's coming back. We've seen it now like 4 or 5 times just in 2022. So Mario's Mustache, if you can get it in the first pipe, he's really, really good. In I think he has Mushroom Gorge T, Sky Garden, regular Sky Garden R, Sky Garden T. So massive for him, great coverage for these brand new tracks. Now the one thing about Luigi's Mustache is he actually shares 70% overlap with the Gold Mii suit. 70%. So if you like to stack gliders with drivers, I'm not necessarily follow that all the time, but if you are under that belief, just keep in mind that when that Mii suit comes out and you really want to go for those massive scores, this one might be a good pull and stash. As for the non-spotlights, nothing new with drivers. A couple new carts added, specifically the Pink Dozer, Grey Cat Cruiser, Dreamy Egg. We're starting to see this Dreamy Egg. It's kind of confirming the fact that we might be having a Yoshi or an Egg or an Easter tour coming up. What it's called, I'm not entirely sure, but it mostly likely will be Yeah, especially when it comes to those expert challenges and when those are ending. A versus tour makes sense. Yoshi versus Birdo, and kind of flip those colors. For the gliders, just the Crimson Wings. For the week 2 pipe, really good pipe when it comes to the carts specifically. And the drivers are okay, but I think really people are going in for that for those carts. If you need to be able to level up your supers and normals, this might be a good pipe to go into. We saw the helmeted pipe. It's 3 and 3. I actually came out with a pull video yesterday. It's a really awesome video for you to check out if you want to. Kind of talks. I put about 900 rubies in and walked away with a lot of high ends. I was able to beat the pipe. Definitely check out how many I get and how to kind of leverage that reset strategy. I love pulling on pipes, so it was great to pull on a special pipe again. As for the packs, the big packs that everyone are focused in on would be the DK Junior. He just seems to always be in ranked over and over again. And then PGP, having her and being able to take her up, especially when we talk about the daily selects, and we kind of referred to that earlier. You maybe even maxing out a high end. It can be any high end. It doesn't necessarily have to be the Cloud Glider. It doesn't have to be the Gold Glider, but any high end in there. I'm trying to remember if I believe PGP is in there. Let me double check. It looks like nope, she is not. So ignore that part. But you can max out Dixie Kong, Funky Kong, Peach, Wintertime, Ice Mario, Cat Peach. I know Puffy already took her Cat Peach and maxed it. So that's one strategy too. It doesn't have to necessarily be those items. Good. And I personally go the Black Great Sale. It's great value. It's a great item, but bad value. But I think when it comes to the meta strategy and be able to get a glider to kind of keep as your pillar, it's a pretty good one. You may not want to spend that much on just one glider, but it's the best glider in the game. Then we have a week 2 tier shop. We have Dixie Kong, Bruiser, and Butterfly Sunset, in case that would help you make some decisions around your coins right now. Then for the buffs, I just kind of want to highlight 3. Charging Chuck, although he got 4 buffs, all of them are Coinbox. One of them has the Gold Me eventually, and that's the Mushroom Gorge T. That will have the Gold Me suit eventually, so it'll be a Coinbox track then, which will trump Lucky 7. The other ones, Bowser Castle T has Meowser. Airship Fortress RT has, I think, 4 Coinbox drivers: Tuxedo, Kamek, maybe Meowser and Gold, Bob-omb Gold. Gold. Bob-omb Gold there. And then the Mushroom Gorge T, as you can see here, Meowser, the R, Meowser got that track. That's a big part. That's the part I was going to talk about for him. Those are 2 solid tracks. So Meowser got the Waluigi Pinball, which many people know is already a Coinbox driver, but it's Hakama and Party Time Pauline, which most people may not have double uncapped or triple uncapped. So it's a really good track for him. And then Mushroom Gorge R. It's technically an exclusive track when it comes to Coinbox, so great for him. Donkey Kong Jr. gets a nice buff, and then they've buffed some super, so kind of just wanted to highlight that. As for the carts, the big 3 that got their buffs would be the Cactar and the Combo Cruiser and the Cupid's Arrow. I'll talk about the Cupid's Arrow and the Movers and Shakers. That's a big takeaway there. All 3 big hitboxes, all with really good coverage for how long they've been around. And the Cactar obviously being a monster cart. For the gliders, I think the big ones I want to talk about is 8-Bit Super Mushroom. That one got a massive buff. And it keeps getting stronger and stronger. No surprise that Mushroom Gorge was a nice track for that to get. And then I think the record setter is going to be a good glider. It's already gotten 3 buffs off this tour. Luigi Parasol and the Parafoil and the Waluigi Mustache are kind of sneaky good too. Some changes to the algorithm. We did a big, not big, but we added the driver size. We added that just to be 10%. And I've talked with Tabor, and we're probably going to tweak it again a little bit next week. But we saw a major change when it came to the top 10 drivers, thanks to adding this skill. So I think Coinbox drivers, the size really does matter. And size does matter to other drivers because there are other coins on the track and you want to be able to have a larger hitbox to get them. But it might only help you 1 or 2 coins every single tour versus, dozens of coins. So we're probably going to tweak that and make some changes as well. Huge shout out to Nintanga, who will probably join us on Kart Talk here soon for winning our top 10 prediction. If you like the top 10, you like to predict, come join our server. So it came to the drivers. The big takeaway here were the drivers with a big hitbox. So Tanuki Rosalina, I know she's a female, and she may look similar to a lot of the other females in the game, but she actually has a giant hitbox. She and not Party Time because she does too, but Pauline and Rosalina are considered the large hitbox. So is Waluigi, and so they both went up. But the big change here was King Bob-omb Gold. Peach Happy saw a nice little buff to size, despite her size, but really the other big changers were around size. So you saw Meowser jump up a lot. You saw Bowser Santa jump up a lot. Obviously, they're in ranked. They have a huge hitbox. So that's one of the reasons why. Donkey Kong Jr. SNES did not go up, even though he got a nice ranked buff, but it's mainly because of his size. He didn't get that extra boost. Still top 15, still a great investment there. As for carts, really the top 5 are solid investments. I would say that Silver King is, his peak was like right there in December, January, starting to decline a little bit, whereas the other 5 here, Cactar, Vampire Flyer, Yellow Off-Roader, Tanuki Kart, really especially the top 3 have a really large hitbox, and they're really promoting especially the Cactar and Yellow Off-Roader for this week 2 pipe. But all 5 of these are great to invest in, decent hitboxes. Tanuki Kart and Silver King just slightly smaller, but these are really the ones I would highly recommend you investing in. The rest are great too. Really, any cards on this list, because we have so many cards, it takes a lot to get on this list. All solid investments, but especially that top 5. And then for gliders, Golden Wings still crushing it right now. 8-Bit Super Mushroom on the rise. And the Candlelight Flight, part of this had to do with some buffs it got. It also is in the week 2 pipe, so I think Nintendo's trying to make it super valuable right now. So those 2 combined made it jump up 11 spots. Want to point that out there. Another sneaky one, the Pink Gold Meteors, and you saw some things drop. The 8-Bit Bullet Bill and Glinting Glider fell outside the top 10, so just be aware of that. Top movers and shakers, won't get too into depth. Almost everyone here, when it came to drivers, are large hitboxes. You saw a lot of Rosalinas get some movement there, both Fire and Cat and Swimwear. But I think from that perspective, that's one of the reasons those are all really, really large. We'll see Fire Rosalina at number 16 on our list, so be aware she's just kind of on the outside looking in. As for the carts, one big change, Combo Cruiser, as I alluded to, number 33 on our list. Cupid's Arrow just came out, right? It's number 16 on our list. It's a decent-sized hitbox, but really it's got some really good coverage. We want to make sure to mention that. And then as kind of a remove for the gliders, I think the big change here, I think really was the Candlelight Flight went up 11 spots. The record setter went up 34, so it is now number 66 on our list. I want to point that out. For All Cup ranking, really there's a lot of Mii's on here and a lot of new items, but I think some of the established items you might have at a high level that might help you out. Peach Explorer, Tanuki Rosalina, and DK SNES are really the 3 that I wanted to point out. And then if you look at it, if you look at the top 10 carts, you're going to be having an advantage when it comes to the All Cup ranking. You got Silver King, Yellow Off-Roader, Cactar, and Tanuki Kart. Those are really, really going to help you out. And really, if you think about it, those are already part of the meta strategy as well. There's a lot of things unlocked for ranked. So I know you kind of already passed through ranked right now. A lot of stuff unlocked. We rarely have this much stuff. The Calamari Desert 2R has by far the most. I think you're going to have to probably be using Dry Bones Gold. Even Party Time Pauline's on there. You're going to be wanting to use Coinbox Driver for sure. Charging Chuck is used a couple times when it comes to the Cheap Island, and I think you're going to potentially be using him if you have a high level, but you probably don't. For multiple use, I mean, the gold Mii Racer suit is up there, but you're probably not going to have him. The Peach one, they made her really, really attractive for ranked, and I think ranked is really, really important when it comes to getting that Rosalina suit. Only the top driver, only the top player in ranked can get that. So you're seeing a lot of people using their tickets and scrambling and putting as many tickets on everything. So we're going to see a huge jump these final 2 days. So good luck there. But that's all I got, guys. I try to get through this as quick as possible. It was about 23 minutes. I hope that was helpful. Please like and subscribe. And if you'd like to hear any more about any of this information, we have hours more content talking about these exact slides. So check out the link in the description to the rundown, and let me know what your thoughts are on the first episode of the speed run.